All right, welcome to another episode of Homestead Shop Talk Podcast with Al from Lona Acres, Ben from Holler Homestead, and myself, Jason from Sow the Land. And this is episode 89. We're almost there to 90, almost to 100 actually, but we're getting close, guys.
Getting there.
We're so close.
So today I was talking to Lorraine about, hey, maybe we should get a llama.
Why? Are you gonna be a hair farmer, or you just want one?
Well, something came up on my feed of like people use llamas for like a guardian dog.
Yep.
For sheep and livestock, and I thought that was kind of interesting. And then I just kind of went down the Google rabbit hole of llama livestock guardian dogs, and it's kind of funny. Like, llamas, they look funny, so I think it would be kind of a funny experience. I don't know. I was just looking at that today. I was like, maybe we should get a llama, because we're talking about getting sheep, and everyone that I talked about getting sheep, they say you need a dog, you need a livestock guardian dog, and I'm like, what about a llama? That's different. I think
What else is a llama good for?
Apparently you can eat them.
Do they use the fiber at all from a llama, or is that just alpacas?
I think you can for llamas.
I don't know.
I don't know. They would just be
They spit at you when they get mad at you.
Yeah, I did read that. I also read that they can like they could creep up on you and like stalk you, which would be wow.
Have you ever been up close to one when they spit?
I don't think I have.
Oh, that is the nastiest thing you've ever heard. Okay, I hope this isn't too much information for people listening, but have you ever heard someone hawk a loogie from way deep down? That's what they do right before. I mean, it's just like, I heard that noise. We were at Jess and Maya's place, and I think they have alpacas or llamas. I'm not sure, but we were standing next to a couple of them, and I hear this like way deep down noise, and I start looking around, and one of these llamas was having a disagreement with one of the other llamas or alpacas, whatever they are, and just like blasted one right in the ears. And it was just like, oh, that is the nastiest noise I've ever heard.
Wow.
Way deep down.
I don't know. They seem entertaining, but
Jason's videoing himself, and you see like a llama in the background, like stalking up behind him, hawk a loogie on him.
They would probably get freaked out because I'm talking to this camera. I know he hawked a loogie at me. People that come over, like, oh, you're making him mad.
A couple people around us have donkeys as, livestock guardian animals. My neighbor up the street, he's got a donkey. His donkey's name is Hunky. And every now and then, from where we're at, I can hear this donkey braying out in the field. It's like, man, I'd kind of like to get a donkey. Something about them, they just seem cool.
They sound cool.
Right. I wonder if you could use a donkey, like throw some saddlebags on them and use them to like carry your tools.
Use them for chores every morning. They can haul out your chicken grain and your water.
Yeah,
that would actually kind of be cool.
Can you ride them? Can you ride them around?
I don't know if you can ride a donkey. I think you'd need a mule.
Or a mule. Maybe that's what we need. Yeah, that'll be like my tractor.
You just go the other way. You're like, well, I haven't got a tractor so far, so I'm going full Amish. I'm getting pack mules, get a team of horses. We'll be out there doing everything by, old school way. That's what we should all be doing, honestly. Like, figure out how to do it with some horses or an ox or something. Wouldn't it be cool to plow up a garden with an ox?
Yeah, we should need to figure out how to use a bucket to move some wood chips. How they do it back then? Just a wheelbarrow?
A wagon.
A wagon. You just got to shovel it. Yeah.
It's like back in the day up here, they used to roll the roads when they were covered in snow. They would pack them with a horse team that had like a big roller behind them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But that was cool to see.
Yeah, but like how messy would that be? Like, say, like, because right now we have like probably 2 to 3 feet of snow on the ground. So like when that's melting in the springtime, that's just going to be a huge mess on the road. But that's like what I'm like, that'd probably be like just a really bad mud season, but maybe not.
All right, who wants to go first?
I can.
How about you, Ben? You look suntan.
I'll talk about that on next week's podcast because this last week was kind of a bust. We didn't make a single video this past week because we weren't home. We were on away missions the entire week. Monday, I helped my friend Brian move some stuff. I did have a little bit of time that afternoon to start working on the house again. I'm putting in a foundation drain that I should have put in when I poured the foundation. It's kind of a last minute decision. It was like, well, before I lay block, because once I lay block in here, like it could be a swimming pool. So I better put in a drain down, before I kind of lose access to it. So started
what do you mean
doing
a drain?
that.
Like
what's that?
What do you mean a drain? What do you mean a foundation drain? Like what is it?
So in any foundation, if you have water of any kind, which we do out here, like North Carolina is a very wet place, water will come out in weird places, especially if you get huge rains, which we do get huge rains. I don't know if you've walked around after a really intense, when we get a couple inches of rain in a short amount of time, there'll be little springs of water just coming out of random spots that are never, running with water. Well, that can happen.
Yeah, I get that.
Especially on hillsides. I notice it out here. There's a few places where we'll get a huge rain, and then if you walk downhill from that, there'll be a spot where water's just running out of the hillside, and it'll just do it, and it's just from, the rain came down, soaked in, found a channel, and it's poking out on a hillside. Well, thinking about that, I've had a year to sit and think about this because I haven't touched this project in a year, and it was like, you know what, I better put in a French drain down at the bottom of this foundation. There's still going to be there's going to be a doorway in the block, so we have access to the crawl space. And so the water could get out there, and I've already got to install it's just a 2-inch drain in the block wall. Just part of code. But I just felt I needed something a little bit extra, so I'm putting in kind of like a French drain. It's just drain pipe in a sock with gravel down along the foundation, and it just drains to downhill outside. So if something were to happen, the water heater is going to be on that side. If something ever happened, God forbid the water heater were to break and the water needed somewhere to go, now it's got a place to go somewhere. So did that Monday. Tuesday, we went up to our friends Justin Rhodes. Justin and Rebecca had us up for being on their podcast. I guess they're firing up their podcast. They haven't done an episode in, I don't know, it's 8 months or something like that. It's been a minute. And they invited us up, and we sat down and just had a conversation. It was like a normal conversation. It didn't even feel like we were on a podcast. We just sat and kind of went back and forth, and it was fun. They fed us lunch, and the kids played airsoft all day, and it was cool. We haven't been up there in a very long time. It's life. We're busy, they're busy, and we haven't seen each other in a very long time. So it was good to get together and not have a serious reason. Because usually, the last time we were up there was right after the hurricane, and we were helping them, fix their pole barn. So it was it wasn't a visit, it was a work day. So it felt pretty good to hang out, I guess. We don't do that
butchering
very
an animal.
Yeah, usually that's the only time we get together with anybody is when we're butchering animals. And so it was nice that nothing had to die. Actually, I take that back. While we were recording the podcast, we could hear some pigs squealing. I was like, man, what the heck is going on with the pigs? Well, when we got done with the podcast, one of their baby pigs had gotten smashed. So yeah, that was a bummer. But it's farm life. That's what happens. Oh gosh. I would have to look at the calendar has changed. We had the entire calendar filled up last week. Just various things going on, running errands, going here, doing that. All sorts of stuff. We haven't really been home much this past week, and it's kind of a bummer. We don't we're trying not to miss, an entire week of our film schedule. And so that was kind of a bummer. We didn't have a solid day to film. I suppose we could have filmed, 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there over the course of the week and gotten a video, but it's kind of hard to have any kind of structure to a video if you film like that, unless you have like a script you're sticking to. So we just opted for not worrying about it. And once we quit worrying about it, it was kind of nice. So it's like, okay, well, we'll just embrace it.
Yeah.
We haven't had a busy
get
week.
out of your head.
Yeah. You just got to get it out of your head, quit worrying about it, and just live in the moment. So we went about our business, ran errands. Oh, it was Corbin's birthday was this past Friday. I have 4 teenagers now. Corbin turned 13. That's another thing we were busy with. Coming up on his birthday, he was like, Dad, I want a suckling pig. It was like, well, we got plenty of suckling pigs, so like no problem. And then he was like, but I want to process it. I was like, you serious? And he goes, yep, I want to process it. So I opted to do 2 of them because they're kind of on the small side. We ended up only needing 1 anyways, but I've got 1 in the freezer. So got up Friday morning and got the water boiling. Went out there, picked a couple of them out, did the deed, brought them over there, and he processed one. I sent you guys some of the pictures. Makes my papa heart proud.
Looks good.
I think what's crazy is like if he keeps on this track, like he's gonna be faster than me. He's when it comes hog killing season, we'll be able to team up. I'll do one, he'll do one, and we'll get it done twice as fast. Like it's
Wow.
cool. Like it's words cannot describe. Like it makes me happy. Like it really does make me happy. And it makes me happy that he's interested. He wants to do it.
That's neat, man.
He'll be
The pig
teaching the classes.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. It's all that stuff you don't realize when you're that age. The skills that you learn today will vastly improve your life tomorrow. And he's 13. In 20 years, like he's going to be miles ahead of where I was. So
yeah,
it's kind of cool. It's cool that he's learning this stuff. And if he never does it again, at least he knows how. It's better to have the skills and not need them than to need them and not have them. What if the internet goes down and you don't have good old YouTube University? There's a lot of stuff I've learned because of YouTube. And take that away, man. Hope you got a good library.
Yeah. Or some cool neighbors.
Yeah, those are hard to find, especially knowledgeable.
Yeah.
So I fired up our pig cooker that I built out of block and threw that thing on there. And I sat out there
fires?
for no grease fires this time. I sat out there. I babysat that thing. It is very interesting. Actually, I did almost have a grease fire. I had to, I built the fire. I used charcoal and wood, and then I didn't add any wood until it had been on like 4.5 hours. And it was like, okay, it's like I got to add some wood. So I added some wood, and that thing tried to incinerate that pig. But I was sitting out there and I caught it. Well, something crazy happened. So I found I mix up when I'm doing a whole pig like that. I mix up, it's like some avocado oil, some paprika for color, some garlic, some salt, pepper, some cayenne to give it a little kick. And I just make this mop sauce and I just mop the skin the entire time I'm cooking. It keeps it from getting burned, I guess. Something about the oil, it must protect it. Well, when it got really hot because I had added this wood and then, I got busy doing something in the barn. I think I was cleaning something and I just quit paying attention for a minute. And then it dawned on me. It was like, oh wait, I just added wood. I walked out there and it was just a little bit hot in there. But what had happened was it what pork rinds look like, that blistered texture that pork rinds have? About half that pig did that. And so the skin just blistered up and turned into pork rinds, on this whole pig while it was cooking. So when I brought this pig in the house to, pull it apart and shred it for dinner, that skin that was all super crispy, it was like the whole back half of this pig had turned into pork rinds. It was absolutely delicious. Those did not make it to the table. It was like 6.5 hours. The pig was 37 pounds live weight. I think it was like 23 pounds hanging weight. 23 pounds is what went on the smoker. So turned out pretty good. I will say a young pig does not have as much flavor as a like older pig. There's a lot more flavor development in the older pigs. But not to say it was bad. Like, it wasn't bad. It was definitely delicious. And then Saturday, because the boys had so much fun when we were up there Tuesday at the Rhodes, they invited the Rose boys down to do airsoft at our place. And so, the Rhodes boys can drive now. And so they came down here, and our boys made war in the woods all day long. So I'm sure the neighbors loved it. Just rat-a-tat-tat-tat all day long. So that was fun. I worked on the top secret welding project some more. I still can't talk about it. Not until it's done and the video's on the internet. But yeah, other than that, that was kind of my week. Not a whole lot,
cool, man.
But then kind of a whole lot. So it was cool though.
Yeah.
We had a good week, even though it was busy.
It sounds like it was nice and busy.
Yeah, bunch of fun stuff.
Yeah, it was cool. It's sometimes just a change of scenery, and we don't get out much. I don't know about you guys, aside from like Lowe's and going and getting milk and stuff like that. We don't leave. We don't go anywhere anymore, and it's kind of weird. Like, it kind of weirds me out. It's like, man, like, have I just become that much of a homebody? Like, I kind of feel like a shut-in. So I don't know. Do you guys experience that?
Oh, yeah. For sure. It's easy not to go anywhere and get complacent, really. Of like, this is how it is, but you kind of have to force yourself to go do something.
Yeah, run to Lowe's, run to all that normal stuff, but yeah, then feed store and stuff like that. But yeah, you gotta make it a point to go out and do something else if you want to. Otherwise, you just end up staying home on the homestead for sure.
Yeah, like I had to go to the DMV this week.
Oh, I also have to go to the DMV soon.
That's so fun.
I will say the North Carolina DMV is an entirely different experience than the California DMV. Like, they got it figured out here. They split it into two different departments. So you've got like the DMV where you get your license. Then you've got the license plate agency is where you deal with tags, and like, it's awesome. Because in California, that was all under one roof, and you're going to be there all day long, no matter what. So
you got to go online and make an appointment.
It was ridiculous. Out here, I think the longest I've ever had to wait in line was like 5 minutes.
Is it like where you're at now?
So Massachusetts was like California. New Hampshire, the DMV, you get your licenses and stuff, which isn't too bad. And then if you're registering your vehicles, you go to the town hall, which is nice because you're just dealing with your town. So you're not having like the craziness. But I mean, it's the town hall stuff. So there's people doing other stuff than vehicle registrations. But it's nice just being able to do that locally.
So they got it split up too. That's where it's at. Yep. Like, it seems so much more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the licensing or the tagging of your vehicles, that's like a yearly thing. So it's nice just to be able to go to the town for that versus when you need your driver's license, then you got to go for the DMV for the state and do it that way.
Right.
But that's every couple of years for your driver's license.
Yep. So why don't I keep going with that? I'll keep going with that.
You keep going.
So yeah, that's
start your week off. Because that's not a good way to start your week.
I guess that is not a good way
Mm-hmm.
to start your week. Is at the DMV. I hope your week went better than that.
So I guess it wasn't the DMV. It was more the license plate agency. So it was the other one, which is good. It's better. It's better.
Yeah.
But so I've been having this problem with, for whatever reason, right? My mini truck is the problem. So for whatever reason, I've been getting these letters in the mail saying that my insurance lapsed or something, and I need to tell my insurance company to send over this certain paper to the DMV so that way they'll know that I had insurance the whole time I've had this truck, which I've had. But I don't know why all of a sudden it just stopped, right? I've had this truck for like 3 years almost. And so I tried to do this online, and then I called my insurance. They send over the paperwork, and I keep doing it. And then whenever I go to pay for some tags, not the mini truck, but the trailer that I have, they say, "Oh, it's not. You can't do it because the insurance still needs to send this paperwork over, right?" But they said they did. So finally I said, you know what, forget it. I'm going down to the DMV and I'm going to talk to somebody. And so I go down there. And so I think what happened was, so because it's a imported vehicle, the VIN numbers are shorter than like a USA vehicle. So somebody at the insurance agency just typed in a bunch of zeros to fill the VIN numbers in. And I guess the computer or something detected it, and so those numbers didn't match with what I have on my title. Confusion, right? Like confusion. I'm trying to explain this. So I ended up going to the DMV 2 times in one day, and going to the insurance people office 2 times.
Good grief!
And I still have not resolved the issue. So I'm still going back and forth on. I don't know what I got to do, but you guys need to fix something. So to be continued on that. It was a giant mess. I was like a whole day of doing that. I'm like, damn it.
Like, I got a video to make. I can't be wasting my time on this.
That's what I'm saying. You guys want to be on a video? Let's make a video right now. Like, I can be going back and forth to DMV. Yeah, it was horrible. And I still haven't resolved the issue. So we will see. So what else? I finished my shelter, my lean-to shed. So it took about a little over a month to finish the whole thing. I finished the lean-to shelter and then also the deep bedding system in there that I am going to put a couple pigs in for now. I'm not going to leave them in there like all year or nothing, but I'm going to train them to some wire. And then this is going to be like my little mini barn, I guess, mini spot for whenever we get animals, we're going to put them there, at first. And then, train them to things. It's going to be a deep bedding system, hopefully make some soil in there at the same time. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. We could put, sheep in there if we get them. Kind of like little stalls. We're going to save
Your
some
llama
water.
can go in there.
What's that?
Your llama.
My llama? Yeah, perfect. Perfect for llama.
You need some sneeze guards if you put a llama in there.
Yeah, wear a face mask every time I go up to the llama. The deputy sheriff llama. Yeah. So we have not. So I just posted the video of the deep bedding system that I put, and at the end of the video, my intention was to at the end of the video move the 2 pigs in there, and that's like the end of the video, right? Like it's a complete video. But it was towards the end of the day, and I was like trying to get it done, and I thought I had some latches for the gate that I made, and I didn't. So I was like, man, so now I gotta go to Lowe's. So if I go to Lowe's, come back, I'm not going to finish in time before it gets dark. And so I said, you know what? Forget it. That's going to be another video of me putting pigs in there. So the video I just posted of me just to build. And so the next video I still have to do probably tomorrow is move the 2 pigs in there. So which is fine. Sometimes I like to film the whole complete video of what I think is complete, but then I rack my brain over trying to get it done and kind of like a madman sometimes. And finally Lorraine comes in. It's her idea. She's like, why don't you just edit this, what you have, and then that's one video, and then you have another video of you putting in the pigs. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably best. That's it. I probably should just do that.
The struggle is real, Jason. Like, I struggle with this. Like, I like finishing it's like finishing your thought. Like, you gotta finish what you have in your head, and if you like gotta break it up, it ruins it.
Yeah, or at least have it be like at a good stopping point, I guess. I feel like it needs to be satisfying. Like somebody watching, they're like satisfied that they seen what they saw, and then like they're satisfied about it. Like even though maybe it's not done, but it's a good stopping point, right? I don't know. We're probably overthinking it, but
It's always the worst when you run out of time and you can't get it done.
yeah,
Or daylight.
it's the worst when you got daylight. You got to go to Lowe's. It's like it was Saturday night. It's like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm at Lowe's.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Always like, run to Lowe's, Home Depot, like 7, 8 o'clock at night. Getting ready for the next day.
So other than that, we're still on baby piglet watch with our Cooney pigs. So I think she's looking bigger. So we still have maybe a week, which we're calculating. She might be due. So we're still watching that. And then today, speaking of getting away from the homestead for a minute and hanging out with people, I met a guy at the business of farming conference that I went to last week, and he's fairly close to me, and he raises sheep. And I went today to go because he's like, "Hey, come on out," because I just talked to him like at the event about different things, and he's just like, "Hey, come on out. I'll show you our place," So they basically, he's a retired couple. They're a retired couple. It's just them two, and they have like 20 sheep. They do a bunch of egg layers, and they have a big garden. They got bees and not initially from the area, and so I think they've been doing it since as long as we've been doing it. But they retired, and this was his dream of doing something like this, basically homesteading. But I think he does sell the sheep, which I was talking to him about. So I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to see other people's farms, just to kind of see how they're doing it. And you could kind of tell when people, you meet people like that, and like right away people say, "Oh, I was watching YouTube one day and I got on the rabbit hole of homesteaders, and then next thing you know, I'm out here doing it." But this guy, I don't think he watches any YouTube. It didn't seem like it to me. Like he talked to me how he done it. He just kind of like found the local people when he wanted to move out here, and just kind of asked questions of like he went to the extension office, like like he just went to extension office and started asking questions, and like next thing you know, they were setting him up with like fencing and sheep and like all these things. And then like he didn't, it didn't seem like he watched a bunch of YouTube videos and learned all this. He didn't seem like he was, it was his thing.
So he got into it organically.
Yeah, like he talked to people. Like he needed a trench done. He saw some people working on some fiber down the road. He just, "Hey, I need some water pipe trenched in. You guys mind on your day off? Like I'll hire you to do mine, but I need water pipe." And they're like, "Okay." And so like he hired these guys just to do it. So you know what I mean? Like it's just like he just asking people like that he sees and thinks that like he needs help doing something, and he just asks. Like he had a bunch of Mennonites build his perimeter fence. Like, which seems like so simple, right? Like sometimes we're like, I got to do it myself. I gotta watch a bunch of YouTube videos how to do it. And he just straight up just started asking like local people around him, and that's how he started. Which is,
that's pretty cool.
I don't mean too many people. Yeah, I don't meet too many people like that.
It's kind of people that if it all fell apart, people like that are going to be all right. Like it really is about communication is key in a lot of situations, and that's it right there.
Right. No, it was cool. It was cool. He just showed me around. I was there for like a couple hours. I might buy some sheep from him. I don't want to say that just yet, but
what breed?
They were Katahdin.
Katahdins. Yep.
Those are delicious.
Yeah, he breeds them and everything. He has like, everybody I talked to about sheep, they said, "I gotta have a dog. I gotta get a dog." And even he said the same thing. Everyone's saying it. And I'm like, what about a llama?
If you're only going to get a couple sheep, though, I wouldn't worry about getting a dog right away. But
yeah, I mean, I was thinking like five sheep.
Yep.
I mean, he has 20 sheep. I think he had 20. Plus, he had a milk cow, and he has 5 livestock dogs.
It's a lot of dog
5
food.
livestock. Wow.
Yeah, he has 5. So I don't know. I was asking about that, and I was like, well, he's like, he suggested I'd need dogs before I get sheep, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't noticed any. I mean, it would just be for coyotes, right? Like, it would be for predators.
Yeah.
They keep the deer run off.
Yeah. But I think if I'm only going to get 5 or something, and we're just going to raise them for meat. Like, I'm not looking to breed them right now. We're just going to raise them for meat. You know, we're going to raise them, a year, maybe? And do you need a livestock guardian dog just for that?
I don't think so.
I don't think the LGD would have saved your last ones from the net.
I don't think so either. Or maybe they would have felt safer with a dog there. I don't know.
Die in safety.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's what I think too. I mean, if we're gonna breed them and get, breed them, and I guess I could see getting a livestock guardian dog at that point, and then raise them together and doing it like that. But if we're just gonna raise them for meat, I mean, I don't know. I would think it would be okay. So I don't know. I'm still debating that. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want a dog.
I know those LGDs are kind of a dime a dozen. There's been like they were such a hot dog to get. The past, I don't know, probably decade. Like they're always getting dumped now. Like shelters are filled up with them. That kind of stuff. We have a friend who just called us, I don't know, a week ago and was like, hey, someone dumped another one out in front of my house. Do you want it? It's like, no, we don't have any livestock that it would guard right now. So I don't know. We're kind of in the same boat. We've talked about getting one, but I don't know. I don't think we need one just yet.
Right. Yeah. And then what if we butcher all these sheep? And then what? What are they going to be guarding? Our pigs?
Your pigs, your chickens. I'd say the big key is personality. When you go to get one, you want one that's chill and that's cool with humans. Definitely. I mean,
you want to get them when they're still small, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yours is what kind of yours is your dog? Oh.
He is an Anatolian Shepherd and a Great Pyrenees mix.
Oh, okay. This guy had Miramar? Is it Miramar?
Yes, something like that.
I forget the name of it. It starts with the M.
Yeah. It's like MA something.
Yeah, he loved them. He loved those dogs. I don't know. I mean, they're big dogs, but they seem cool. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm still debating that one to figure out what I want to do. But I
would think you're fine without getting a livestock dog when you're just raising them for meat. So you're gonna have them 6-9 months maybe, and then you're gonna be butchering them.
Yeah, that's what I think too. But
you're fenced in pretty good over there.
Yeah,
it's not like you have coyotes all the time going after your pigs or your chickens.
Yeah, and this guy, the way he raises them, he moves them around much like how I would do it. He just raises them on 2 wires. He has the exact same perimeter fence as I do. And he's close by, so I don't know. We'll see. But it's just kind of fun, seeing other people's spots, seeing what they do, and forcing myself to get away and meet new people.
Yep. Speaking of perimeter fences, did you ever think about just using 4x4s, squares, instead of using round fence posts? I've got a fencing project coming up, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to get posts or just 4x4s.
I think my reasoning for that is that I felt like the 4x4, because they're all 4 square sides, that you'd kind of have to move it to where they were all square.
Yep.
Rather than if it's round, you can put it however you want to put it, because it's round. But a 4x4, you have to be more accurate. And that was my reasoning not to do 4x4s. Plus, I wanted to match the rest of the fencing. That's how they were all round.
Gotcha.
But I thought it would be easier to put in the round post than the square post. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I like the round post.
No, but that's just easier to get the square posts. That's my thing. It's like, round posts are more expensive and they're harder to find sometimes.
Yes, that is true. That is the drawback, yeah.
I like straight lines. Like we have at our old place, we have the round post, and I'm like, man, if you got to put like a board up on it or something, like you don't have like a flat surface to screw to, so I'm like, is there like a big reason to do round post versus a square post when you're building a perimeter fence?
You would think that the round would be more heavy duty, you think? Like,
I don't know.
More beefier? More of a hard time to knock over? I don't know.
Maybe you're just drilling a hole. If you're drilling a hole with your fence post driver, you're just drilling a round hole versus, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's all the same. I mean, I don't know. I would think. I don't know. I just thought it would be easier to do a round post.
Yep. Well, that's what, when you're just doing like a perimeter fence with woven wire, that's what everybody uses, is the round post.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because it's hard enough to dig these posts in the ground. And I was like, I'll pay the extra dollars to give me a round post, so make it a little bit easier on me. But yeah, I guess that's a drawback. They're hard to find sometimes.
Like the only place locally we have is Tractor Supply that has the round post, and they're not the greatest. So I'm like,
Tractor Supply,
and they're more money than a 4x4. They're like a 4-inch post, so you're not really gaining anything. But...
Yeah, those posts are not very good. Yeah, I don't know, unless you can find some kind of post dealer or some feed store that has them.
We can, but they're like a couple of hour ride. It's like, I don't know if I feel like trucking a couple of hundred fence posts on a trailer, but
well, do square post, man. I don't know. But what else? I think that was my week. It was just building that structure.
Glad to be done.
Yes, I'm glad.
It's a good feeling.
I'm always glad. It's such a great feeling to have to finish a project like that, because you feel like I've been working on it for the last month or so, off and on. But when you're done, it's like, now I can move on. I feel like I could almost like you kind of fall behind on other things. Like, I got to move these pigs. I got to move all the pigs, actually. And there's other projects I want to start before it gets too rainy and hot. So it is pretty nice.
How big of an area for the pigs in the pole barn?
Well, the whole barn is like 30 by 12. But the pig area that I enclosed is I think it's about 20 by 12.
That's a good size.
Yeah.
Did you fill it with wood chips?
Yes, I did.
By bucket load at a time?
Yes, I did.
A 5-gallon bucket?
Well, a mini truck load at a time.
Okay.
I loaded up my glorified wheelbarrow and loaded that thing up with wood chips. We did two loads of wood chips. Me and Lorraine did it, and I need more than that, actually. I probably could use 2 more loads. So that's what I'll be doing. So.
Yep. How are the pigs doing?
They're doing good.
Doing good.
The IPPs are growing. You could tell they're growing good.
Yep.
Yeah. They're not rooting up still. In that they root up a little bit, but not bad. So, but that's about it. I'm looking around to see if I can remember anything else I did. No, that's about it. What you getting to, Al? Is it snowy there?
Oh, yes. It's been snowy and cold. So we tried going winter camping. That video, I won't talk about that, but that was something we tried doing because it was cold and snowy. That'll be a next week video. But yeah, I mean,
Oh,
this morning it was 12 below.
dang.
So
That's cold.
Heck
cold.
no.
Trying to
Heck
think.
no.
Saturday it was 40 at one point. It was till like noontime. The sun was out. It was sunshine, and I had to do some repair work to my outdoor wood boiler. I'm like, oh, this is nice. Went inside for lunch. It clouded up. And then probably like 2, 3 o'clock, it started raining. And then we're out doing chores. It's raining. It started sleeting and raining. And then it started rain, sleeting, and snow all at once. And then it was just like blowing sideways snow. We were only supposed to get like a quarter of an inch of snow. We got like 3 inches of snow out of like nowhere. And then it's just been cold. So
Wow.
I'm hoping to get over this cold
Is it
weather.
the fake snow or the real snow?
It's all, so this snow is like sugar. It doesn't pack. Like no matter what you do, like you pack it. Even with my side by side, if I pack something, you can go in there and you just like put your foot down, and like I'll move your foot, and you just keep falling down. We were doing chores last week. We take the side by side, and Gina likes to do some walking. So like we'll feed one set of pigs, and then we go to where sweet potato is, and Gina usually walks. Well, she's walking. All of a sudden, the snow gave out on her, and she just like fell on her butt. The grain bucket goes flying. There's grain all over the place. It's like this snow is garbage.
It's like cotton candy.
Yeah, it's just no substance to it. So we probably got almost 3 feet of snow on the ground. So when it melts, like we're hoping it goes fast and that there's not a lot of water in it because it's just so crumbly. But we'll find out. It's supposed to be getting into the 50s this week in rain. But
what happened to that leak that you had?
It's frozen. It's just underground
Still.
I shut off the water supply to it, and I've just been having to haul water twice a day.
Still.
Al's busy trying to not think about it.
Yes, I'm like putting it on. Every time I'm like, oh, I can fix this. We got like a good weather spell coming. I'm going to be able to fix this. Like, nope.
Oh,
I lined up somebody. I'm like, hey, I got a water line break. I'm like, can I get like a load of just sand? I said, so when I dig this out, I can just backfill it with sand. Like, yep. And then like the nice weather never came. I was like, I just need like one day above freezing so I can like be in a hole working with my hands in water and not frozen. And it never happened.
Oh, man.
It'll probably be like another month.
It's coming, Al.
Oh,
It's coming.
It's coming. Yep. That's what we keep telling ourselves. We haven't had a winter like this probably in over 5 years. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Let the sunburn on my 5 head be proof it's coming.
Yeah. You guys had it all winter, though, kind of on and off with the nice weather.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad this winter. We saw some pretty cold temperatures this winter, but I wouldn't say it was as bad as last year or the year before.
Some snow? A little bit of snow?
Yeah, it was nice to have snow finally.
I think Alaska's been warm. And they're like, I was watching someone, and they're like, oh, if we're warm, it means people down south are like getting our cold weather. And like parts of Alaska, their snow's already melted. And it's been melted for like a month or so now.
Yeah, I've seen some of those videos. Some of the people that they're YouTubers that live up there, and they're like, "This is BS. Like it's the middle of winter in Alaska, and there's no snow. Like this is garbage." So I mean, I can't blame them. Like you move up there because you want winter. Like it'd be garbage.
The only thing that I don't want to say scary, but it gets me thinking. It's like, all right, how dry is it going to be up there this year? And all the crazy fires that have been all over the rest of the country, are they going to be having wildfires up there? That's just what, I don't know, goes through my head.
I've also thought the same thing. I know it's dry down here right now. It's shocking how dry it is.
And there's some fires up here, what I'm seeing.
Yeah, South Carolina. Are there any in North Carolina, or is it still South Carolina?
There's one next county over.
Really?
Yeah, Western North Carolina. Yeah, there's some.
Crazy. So speaking of Idaho pasture pigs, we had to dig our pigs out so we could get the trailer to them, so we could bring them to the butcher shop.
Oh, fun.
So,
how do the pigs do with the snow? They like the snow. They don't mind.
They don't mind the snow. Yeah. They don't mind the cold. They don't mind the snow. So, but I had to make. So I got a livestock trailer that's like 2-horse slant trailer, so it's got a like an upper divider, but it doesn't have like a lower divider. And we decided to bring our boar to get butchered because he's rough. He's not like, so if we're outside of the fence with him, he's super friendly. Like we can pet him. He loves it. You go in the pen with him and he just like runs up to you and he just like starts bashing you with his head. And that's what he does to the girls. And we think that's why our sow that is bred got the prolapse rectum, just because he's rough. So I'm like, when we're putting them in the trailer, they got to go overnight, or they're staying in the trailer overnight because I had to be to the butcher shop for 6:30 in the morning. So I'm like, I'm not trying to load pigs at like 5 o'clock in the morning because that's not gonna be fun. So I'm like, all right, I'll load him up, but I'm like, I don't want him in the trailer with the other pig, and beating her up all night. So I had to build a divider system, which I did that with 2x6s, and luckily I had some pig panels, so I was able to do that. So that's kind of cool now because now it's set up so like if we want to have the pigs or we want to load up sheep and we want to have like a divider with small livestock, we can easily. So I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. And then we spent the rest of the day cleaning out the snow so we could get the trailer in and get.
How long is your trailer?
I don't know how long it is.
Is it long one?
No, well, it's long enough for like it's just like a two-horse trailer.
Like 12 feet, maybe.
Probably 16 feet total with everything. 16 to 20 feet with the tongue and everything.
Yeah.
Is it a gooseneck?
No.
But I need a trailer. I need a trailer.
That's something I'm looking
Either
for.
Ben or me need one.
Yeah.
Either you or I need one, Ben.
Well, I've borrowed the cool trailer so long. I think I need to be the one to buy the livestock trailer. That way it can live at your house.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever watched like British farmers on social media or YouTube or anything? Like they have their livestock trailers that they're smaller and they're mostly aluminum, but then they like they have a ramp that folds down, and then on the inside they have 2 gates that like fold up and they're aluminum, and then they come out, so you got your ramp, but then they make like an alleyway on the ramp. And I'm like, those aren't over here in the U.S. That would be so convenient for loading up livestock because they have like
that would be awesome.
Where they can. I'm like, we need to get those over here in the U.S. Like all of the livestock trailers. I'm trying to think, they don't call them livestock trailers over in England. I can't think of that up. But I don't know
what they call them. Yeah.
So mine is a steel trailer. It is super heavy, but we bought it during COVID, so it was like used and. During COVID, it was super hard to get livestock trailers. So I found this one and scarfed it up.
So you were able to load them pretty good?
Yes, they weren't too bad. The hardest part about loading pigs in the snow is trying to run in snow. Like you slip and fall, and they don't. I was sore the next morning just from trying to run around and sort them. But
Did you film all this? Did you film all that?
No. So like it's super hard to film that kind of stuff anyways, but then you add cold and snow on top of it. Your camera doesn't want to stay out. So it's been windy. It's like, so there's a lot of that stuff you just can't film this time of the year.
Oh man. It's so hard. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we got them loaded up. It took, I don't know, probably 10, 15 minutes to get the girl because she was in with the other girl. So we got her sorted, got her in. And then we went over, got the boar. So the boar, so the day before, we cleaned out all the fencing and got it all dug out. Well, I noticed that there was a little bit of ice over his gate. I'm like, it's nothing. I tried it, I could pick it up. Well, that day, the sun came out and started melting, and it's like downhill there. So the next day, when I went out to go load them up, his fence had like 4 inches over it. So the bottom pipe was completely buried in ice, and then it was up like the metal like fence part of the gate.
Oh geez.
So we had to undo the electrical fence, shut it off, undo it. So we took it down, but you know how hard it is to get like a pig to go through where an electrical fence used to be.
Oh yeah.
So that took a few minutes, but we had the girl in the trailer. So he was kind of I don't think if we had her in there, he wouldn't have gone in as easy. So we were able to get him in there a little bit easier because he knew there was a lady inside.
I see.
So we loaded them up, I don't know, later afternoon, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Usually their normal feeding time. Left them in the trailer, and then the next day I brought him to the butcher. We haven't got anything back yet, but he was good size. I would say he was probably the size of a regular hog during butchering time. And then she was just as long, body-wise, probably almost as big, but she had tiny legs. So it'll be interesting to see, like, meat-wise per pound, how much comes back per pig.
You had them how long you had them?
So they were 10 months old.
Mm.
I wanted to get them back in. I tried to get them to the butcher in January because that would have been there at their 9-month mark.
Okay.
But we couldn't get them in.
Were they easy to unload?
Super easy to unload. Yeah,
the shop,
this butcher shop was nice. It's the first time I went there. Brand new. Backed up. They offloaded. And brought them in to like into their pen areas. I could see other pigs there. And there was a group, I don't know what breed they were, but they were nice looking pigs, but they were tiny. I'm like, man, I couldn't imagine paying that much money. You know, the pig was, they looked like they were probably 3 months old, like size wise of a normal hog. So I'm like, you know, you're still paying the same slaughtering fee. You're still paying, everything's the same price. And then you're getting less meat. I'm like, man, that meat's going to be expensive.
They were probably cooney pigs.
No, they weren't. I'm just thinking, like, right around here, like, if you want to sell meat, you got to get your butcher dates like 6 months in advance. So I don't know if they just have like their butcher dates and their pigs just didn't grow fast enough. But it's like, if you don't, what are you going to do?
Yeah. That's cool, man. So you're going to have some pork here.
Yeah, so another like week to 2 weeks, I should get the pork back.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see how they do. So this place is USDA inspected. So that's why we're trying them. So if next time we want to butcher, we can sell the pork to people. But this pork we don't plan on selling. We want to try it out. We want to make sure they do a good job packaging. We like their sausage grind mix. We like so they smoke all of their bacon in-house. So I'll be able to see how we like their bacon, how we like their hams and stuff like that.
That's one thing. When I took mine pigs, I hadn't used this processor before, but you know, we just made it all into ground, like 1 pound packages. And a lot of the packages, they were like 0.8, 0.85. You know, they weren't quite a pound. So I'm like, I don't know. I just was like, I wish I would have been, I don't know, talk to them more or more communication there.
I want a pound or a little over. I don't want them under. Yeah.
A lot of them we didn't sell because I didn't feel like we were selling them by the pound.
Yep.
So I didn't feel good of like, I'm selling you a pound, but it's, 8. It's below that, it's like 3/4. So we just kept it for ourselves. But
yeah, it's nice to know what you're getting into beforehand.
Yeah.
I'll be
so you did all the cuts and everything. You filled that all out.
Yeah, we did all the cuts. So this place, they'll only do one kind of sausage per pig. So I've never had that before, so we got maple breakfast sausage for one, and then the other one we just did the ground pork, no seasoning.
They do the kill there too?
They do all of it there.
That's good.
And then most of the other butcher shops that I know around here, they don't do the smoking in-house. They send it out, but they do their own smoking. So it'll be interesting to see how that comes out.
Nice. Doing this all myself, like, good on the butcher shop for like doing every last bit of it and smoking the bacon. That's a bunch of work. Like, that is a bunch of work.
Yep, it is.
It would be interesting to see how they do all that.
And I'm like, I'd love to like be able to be like, hey, can I like come and make a video or come like work there for like a week and just kind of like see their whole process and like, I just find that stuff super interesting myself.
Yeah. It would be to see how they do it.
Right. I thought that'd be like kind of like a fun YouTube series to do sometime. It's just like go to work, like call up a place and be like, hey, can I come like to work there for a week? Like apprenticeship for a week. I'll video it, like a butcher shop, like a brewery, like, I don't know, all just sorts of different like artisan crafts just to learn for myself, but then also to show people like everything that goes into it.
Yeah. That's on your other YouTube channel.
I'll have to make another one.
Yeah. That would be cool.
I just thought that'd be a fun idea.
Mm-hmm. But you gotta have somebody film you.
Yeah, you'd have to.
That would be the hard part.
It would be. Then we milked Azalea for the last time until she has her calf. So we were planning on stopping milking in April. Basically, it was like March, I think it was like maybe February 28th was the last day. She's just been cutting back on how much milk. She's just kind of like weaned herself. So we're like, yeah, we're not going to just get like a cup or two at a time. So we're just like, yeah, time to call it. We've been milking her for 18 months, I believe.
It's a long time.
Yep. So for the last probably 2 or 3 months, we've been getting a half a gallon a day. And that's more than enough for us. So it's like, hey, that's perfect. And then she started getting less and less. It's like, okay, let's call it. So now it's like, oh man, it's nice not having to milk every morning, but it's like, we're not getting our milk either.
Yeah.
Half gallon of milk
cream
wouldn't even be enough for just me.
With all the coffee you drink, I'm not surprised.
I like, there's something that can be said for fresh milk. Like, people, if you have never had fresh raw milk, people just don't understand. Like, it is delicious. Especially you get it ice cold. There's nothing better than an ice cold, out of glass milk. Like, you got to drink it out of a glass cup. Don't drink it out of stainless. Like, man, it is an awesome experience.
Yep. And then, like, so I was looking at our local food co-op. They have some raw milk. One of it, I don't think it's organic. I think A2, but I'm assuming they feed grain. And we find that when we drink milk that's grain fed, you can taste the grain in it. It's almost tastes like, to us, it tastes like milk that you've eaten cereal out of first or eaten Cheerios out of first. It's got like that grainy taste. So I'm like, what were you going to say, Ben? Have you noticed that?
I have noticed that. It's kind of a, I don't know, like, this is going to sound weird, a McDonald's smell.
Yep.
We can detect, it's like, that's the only way I can describe it. It smells kind of like McDonald's in the meat and milk, like, you name it. It's just whatever kind of grain you fed them. I don't know if it's the corn or what. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. But like, we have grass-fed dairy. It's like, we know. So the one at the co-op, I don't know what it is. I'm assuming it's grain. And then is it $7.79 or $8.79 a quart?
Whoa, that's expensive milk.
Yep. I'm like, that's like only if we need it kind of milk. And then we saw there's an organic grass-fed pasteurized milk. So I'm like trying to figure out, like, when we need milk, which one are we going to go for?
Spoiled.
I know.
Spoiled.
We have been. So then so Azalea's due in June, and then our Highland cattle aren't due until July, unless one of them, when we picked her up, they were like, she might have just been bred by one of the bulls here. We're not sure. So if she was bred when we picked her up, she'd be due the end of March. So I said to Gina, I'm like, well, we really don't want a calf this time of the year. But I'm like, if we do, you might have to stop milking her because she's A2. She should be A2. I'm like, and she'd be grass fed. But we'll see. I hope we don't have a calf in the middle of winter. Or I guess probably, hopefully by the end of March, all of our snow will be gone.
Just in time for mud season.
Outside.
I know, right?
You think they would just calve outside or inside the barn?
We have a setup for them so we can bring them in, so they can calf inside. So yeah, if we can get her down, like if she calves right now, I don't think it'd be super easy to get her down to the barn with all the snow we have. If she calves and there's no snow, yeah, we could lead her down to the barn, and we have we made a barnyard and like a pen just for the Highland cattle to calf, and then we have the headlock and stuff, the cattle chute, so we could put her in there. And I'm like, Gina, I'm like, yeah, you can put her in there. I'm like, you could just milk her right in the squeeze chute. You wouldn't have to worry about her kicking you to nothing till you tamed her. I mean, they're pretty tame, but we've never tried like milking her or anything. So it's like, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see what kind of adventure we're in for. So then we've been working on the walk-in cooler. We got most of the walls FRP'd. That was fun. No, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, it's definitely a chore spreading all the adhesive on. If there was an easier way to do the adhesive, I feel like it'd be a lot better project.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. You got to like trowel it on or something.
Yep, you got to cover the whole area with trowel it on.
Yeah.
I did just find that Great Stuff makes a polyurethane adhesive that you put in like one of their commercial guns. So we got all of the walls done except for the main front by the door, and it's just gonna be like short panels. So I'm like, I might just try doing that for the heck of it to see how that works. Like if you ever had to do FRP before, and you could just take you could just take your gun on a wand and just and then put the FRP. That'd be like a huge time saver.
Heck yeah.
So I think I'll try that for that wall. But yeah, so we got the ceiling all done, the 3 big walls done, and then we got the door made. We hung the door. So in order to hang the door, we're putting some Rockwell insulation in, and then we sided it, trimmed it out, and then we hung the door on that. So we got the door mostly done, hung up. So now we can start working on framing up the doorway. We got to make that area.
So we're almost done.
Almost done. We're getting there. Yeah, we'll get that done, and then we'll have to side it, and then we got to build the roof system for it. And then I got to figure out the lighting system.
All right.
But we're getting there. It's a good indoor project to have this winter because it's been so cold.
You haven't put in the AC or nothing like that. Yeah.
We got the hole cut. We got that all figured out. We just haven't installed it yet. Or the Coolbot or nothing. Yeah.
Cool.
Having fun with it.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna have to hang something in there now.
We are. We're gonna have to.
Go get a moose.
Go get a moose or a suckling pig this summer because our sow is due the end of March, beginning of April. So I'm not sure how many she'll have, but a nice little pig roast would be nice this summer.
Yeah.
You'll get addicted, and all of a sudden you'll realize you're almost out of pigs.
Yeah. So we kept the other girl. So hopefully we can AI her and in the future. We're just waiting for a few things to figure out first before we AI her to find out like when we want her to have her babies. So she's super easy to detect when she goes into heat, and that's why we kept her. So, and then if she doesn't work out, we'll be able to butcher her. And I think if we did her, we would probably just butcher ourselves, and then we could use the cooler for that. So we'll have something hanging in there, I think, by this summer. And then if we ever want to do like a chicken barbecue or something, you want to like marinate a bunch of meat, you can just throw everything in the big old walk-in cooler and let it marinate for a while.
Yeah. Make sure you send us a picture.
Oh yeah. I want to see the meat pole in action too.
Right. The meat pole we used last year when we butchered the sheep. I think I sent you guys a picture of that.
That's right. That's right.
Gina cooked a turkey the other night and she spatchcocked it. And I think it cooked in like 2.5 hours. It was like a 12-pound turkey, but cooked pretty fast.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So what we were thinking, I don't know if you guys have done it, we're thinking about maybe spatchcocking maybe not all the turkeys, but the turkeys this year, like while we're butchering, and then spatchcocking the chickens that we're going to keep whole. Because they should take up a lot less room in the freezer. You'd be able to stack them easier.
Yeah.
I would think spatchcocking them.
Yeah, definitely. That's something we've actually talked about is like doing some of that special prep. Like, how you're going to want to eat something. Just do the special prep when you process, and then
right. 'Cause you already have your tools out. You're right. That's what I'm like. Let's just cut the backbone out. Like we'll break the breast. Like it'll be flat. Like you're already doing all that work already. You have one less step you got to do when you go to cook it, and just think that I don't know. You'd have to use a vacuum sealer maybe to seal it. You wouldn't be able to dunk it in one of the heat shrink bags. But
we've marinated something like that before.
Oh, that's got to be good.
Like throw some onions and lemon or something.
Yeah.
And then vacuum seal it. It turns out pretty good.
I bet it does. So then all this past week we've been eating leftover turkey meat in like sandwiches. So it's like That's almost better than the turkey dinner, is having like nice, fresh, thick cut turkey sandwiches.
Yeah. No, nice.
That's been our week in a nutshell. We're hoping for a warm up. It's supposed to be, I think, Wednesday. We're supposed to get into the 40s, upper 40s, and rain. So
we might get some rain this week or next week.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain Wednesday. We'll see. It's supposed to be actually a pretty powerful storm moving across the U.S. As we speak. So we'll see. They're saying we're supposed to get some pretty strong winds with this storm coming.
We had that last week, some really crazy winds. I left my bedroom window open. It was kind of warm, not like you guys wouldn't call it warm, but it's been warmer here, so our bedrooms were kind of warm upstairs, like 60. We don't like our bedrooms in the 60s. So I left the bedroom window open. We went out to our friend's house, had dinner and stuff. We got home that night, went to bed. So my alarm clock sits in the window, and it's got a temperature gauge on it. It said 34. That was awesome.
Oh, that's cold. Meg would die if I let it get that cold in the house.
Gina was not happy. It was just the bedrooms. You couldn't tell like anywhere else. It was just our room. But I mean, I slept so good that night. Gina was like, "This is terrible. It's so cold." I'm like, "This is perfect."
Hey, we turned the heat off in the bedroom because we kind of had some warm weather. Well, then, it's kind of cooled back down again. And the couple days before we turned the heat back on, man, there's like one morning there was one morning I got up and the thermometer said it was like 53 degrees. I had slept like a baby all night long, and it's like, yeah, that's why it was cold in here.
Yeah. Yep. I love it like that. Yep. Lorraine, she wants it at 70.
In the bedroom? No.
The whole house, 70.
The house can be 70, but the bedroom's got to be like 50s.
Refrigerator.
So you can sleep good. Yep.
I want to see my breath.
That's right. 34 was so nice. She's like, I have to like sleep next to you and cuddle you all night long. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I woke up at like 2, 3 in the morning. And she was like right up against my side. I'm like, I'm fine with that. I'm like, that was perfect. She's like, I slept so good, but it was way too cold. I'm like, no, you slept perfect. Like, that's the new temperature we need to keep it at.
Yeah, I like it like cold like that for sure. I'd rather be cold than hot.
Yep. Come on up here.
I mean, let's not get crazy now. Let's not get crazy. I don't need it 30 in my house. All right. I think that's it, guys, huh?
Yep.
We'll save the rest for next week. All right. Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the thumbs ups and the comments, and thanks for telling your friends and neighbors about this podcast. And we'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys have an awesome week.
Have a good week, everyone.
Later, everybody.